He painted the doors and the walls.
You got a lot of paint on your face yesterday. I mean, you really got yourself dirty.
Well, I'm here to serve.
To serve the women of Zambia who are dying from cervical cancer. And unnecessarily so, says the former president and the First Lady.
You excited about that?
Fired up.
Do you think people are going to be lining up outside here?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think women really are, because they know people who've died with cervical cancer.
A mission to build on the AIDS program he set up while president a decade ago. PEPFAR, or the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, dramatically reduced the number of AIDS deaths in Africa, with a massive investment of antiretroviral drugs for the region.
I'm very proud of American people for their generosity. I mean, billions have been poured into a faraway land. I wish Americans knew how many lives were saved as a result of their generosity, and someday they will.
The program's success highlighted by Bush's successor, President Obama, in his visit to South Africa.
And while America will continue to provide billions of dollars in support, we can't make progress without African partners. So I'm proud that by the end of my presidency, South Africa has determined it will be the first African country to fully manage its HIV care and treatment program.
Yeah, it breaks your heart to realize that such hope was given to communities throughout the continent of Africa because of antiretrovirals, and then women are dying from cervical cancer, so there's hope and then there's despondency.
It really can be avoided. Very few women in the United States die from cervical cancer. So if you can just add to the PEPFAR platform that's already established, the health system that's already up, the testing and treatment for cervical cancer, then very few African women will die of cervical cancer.
With his commitment to the fight against HIV/AIDS, President Bush is respected as a humanitarian in Africa. His legacy on the continent secure. But it's a presidency that didn't come without its criticism, even here.
I just want to get your reaction to Mandela. What kind of a man is he to you?
An historic figure that made a huge difference in people's lives.
He was quite tough on you, though. He criticized you publicly about the Iraq War.
Yeah, he wasn't the only guy.
He recognizes many of the decisions he made were divisive. But some Americans seem to be softening their opinion of him.
Because in the polls, you're now sort of level, aren't you? You don't care?
No.
Whether people think you're favourable or unfavourable?
The only time I really cared was on Election Day.
The only time?
I really didn't, no, I didn't. You know, I guess it's nice. I mean, let me rephrase that. Thank you for bringing it up.
You like the idea that people perhaps are looking at you differently?
You know, I mean, ultimately history will judge the decisions I made. And I won't be around because it's going to take a while for the objective historians to show up. And so I'm pretty comfortable with it. I did what I did. I know the spirit in which I did it.
Comfortable with his past, Bush now looks towards Africa in his retirement.
You seem quite proud of this, like your new granddaughter. I mean, I get a sense that this is very personal.
I made the decision post-presidency to stay out of the limelight, let others debate the key issues, made the decision not to criticize my successor. And so the challenge for me personally was, you know, how can I make a difference? And this program, Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon, is a vehicle to spend the rest of my life as best as I can trying to improve the human condition.
So far away from where you live.
Perfect. Makes it even more special.
Away from Washington, the former commander-in-chief has found a new mission.
Okay, and that clinic opened today, Wolf. The Bushes are hoping that thousands of lives will be saved.